We take how we feel about ourselves out on our husbands so that we don't have to be accountable and be exposed to it. And the challenge is that when we live as victims, blaming other people and our husbands for how we feel, we have no self-awareness. There is no self-awareness in being a victim because our sole focus and lens is on what our husbands are doing to cause us to feel this way. And we have no capacity to look at ourselves and how we are creating the experience we are having. So that's why we have to move into camp, take responsibility of what is it about me? What are the choices and decisions I have made to have caused me to feel this way? Because then we can have a solution. But it stems from our own the emasculation stems from our own self-hatred, our own self-esteem and lack of confidence that we don't want to face and don't have a constructive way to face that then causes us to emasculate.
Candy?
You already know if I'm going to take it?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Tonight's video is going to be about accountability. I did a video, and I wonder if I should re-upload it. Maybe I'll just promote it more because it only got, I believe, a couple hundred views, but it was about self-love and accountability. I believe you need both. I believe men on average, at least the men that I know, and I'm not talking about thugs and hoodlums and guys that are in motorcycle gangs or deadbeats or men that's constantly playing video games all the time. Video games, like anything's not too bad. Well, except probably drugs. Anything's not too bad as long as you don't do it excessively. Okay? You have to have some balance there because I still play video games. I take a drink once in a while, once in a blue moon. When you do it excessively and it starts affecting your life and your relationships, that's when it's a problem. Anyway, in that video, when I was talking about accountability and self love, and I already say that men on average, the good or decent guys, or even the men that are just driven, they're not good people, but they are driven and taking care of their responsibilities. They have accountability as far as, hey, I was late. Hey, I fucked up on this. They may not be sincerely sorry, but they acknowledge that they made a mistake. Don't listen to those men that say never admit that you made a mistake, especially to a woman. Thing is, though, you can admit that you are wrong, just don't go into sob mode and feeling sorry for yourself or crying in her lap. Because I think few women appreciate that. Only women that put you up there on the pedestal or have such love and admiration for you won't turn them off. Other women, that probably will. Now, women seem to have self love in abundance, especially now. And a lot of times when they are in relationships and they decide to leave their husband or leave their boyfriend, I will often hear them say that they put other people's needs ahead of themselves. That's the thing that man does. And he does a lot of men that are taking care of their families does that a lot of putting everybody else ahead, not buying that sports car, not buying things that he wants because he wants to make sure his wife and kids have things. Women start putting people ahead more when they have kids, and maybe that might wear them out. Now, if you putting your friends, family ahead, trying to please them, being the people pleaser, then that's your fault. The same way I would say is a man's fault if you are bending over backwards for everybody and you feel empty that no one is doing it for you. So I believe that men that already have accountability need to have that self-love of being selfish at times to do things for yourself, whereas most people would not do. Women, I believe, especially in relationships, unless if they with a man that they really want and they are bending over backwards for, I don't think they do that because I can see in all my relationships, they did do things for me and they did make me feel loved. I know I never took advantage and say, hey, jump for me and see how high that they can jump and take totally advantage of that situation. I often feel when women have a good man, they will take advantage of the situation and they will be less accountable, maybe because that's not their first choice. I believe women can be accountable if it's a man that is not abusive to them, but yet will not let them get away with stuff. And sometimes it's hard to have that particular balance because a lot of times when men are being good to women and trying to be there and treat them good, sometimes, well, I know for me, sometimes you get lost with trying to please her and not check her when she's acting wrong until she gets totally out of control. And by that time, it can be too late. I have a video here by Jubal. I think that's the name of the guy. And they were doing those call-ins where people have an update about their date. And this is the perfect example of a person, a woman, not being accountable of her actions. And yes, men do this too. But whenever I had beefs with guys, and if we was able to sit down and talk, they will always admit when they was wrong and, oh, my fault, dog. I didn't mean to do that. I rarely hear women do that particular thing. I don't think none of my past girlfriends about, well, maybe they did say they were sorry with a particular thing early in the relationship, but later on, after their head got gassed up with other people in their ear, and even if they was acting wrong, they did not apologize for any of the shit that they did. So anyway, let's get to that video right now.
Hello, Alicia.
Why do you have to be such a d-?
How are we already
I'm not-
starting like this, Alicia?
Alicia, hold on. I need to refresh everybody's memory with what happened, okay? You first came on the show because an ex-boyfriend came back into your life and asked you out to dinner, and you weren't sure if you should tell your husband or not that you agreed to go out with him. He wanted to take you
No. I wasn't going to tell my husband, and
Right.
it wasn't a big deal
Okay.
until you guys made it a big deal.
Right.
Oh, right.
So you came on the show, asked us for our advice, and then your husband heard that on the show and then emailed us so that he could call you in an awkward Tuesday phone call. He got you on the phone, and then this happened.
I never should have called you guys in the first place. Never.
You know what, Alicia, you're actually right. Well, you never should have lied to your husband in the first place.
Yeah,
and then none of these phone calls.
Lie to my husband.
Oh my God.
So,
God.
Alicia, after being on the show, yelling at us twice, saying that we were horrible people, and then hanging up on us both times, why are you back on the show today?
Because after all the bullshit you guys put on the radio, and I don't know how you did all this editing to make me sound like a jerk, my friends and family are like, you're kind of a bad person. And I'm not a bad person. I'm calling to freaking set the record straight.
Alicia, you remember that you actually went out with your ex-boyfriend, lied to your husband, told him that you were going to see your girlfriends, and
I
then...
didn't lie. I just didn't tell him because I didn't want him to get upset. How many times do I have to tell you this?
Let me stop her right there. And to be honest, I've done the same thing because I know one of the issues in my marriage was I would not say certain things. It was never a thing of me hanging out with another woman and not telling her. But it would be something such as I'm posting my art stories online because I used to have a web comic and it was a community. I believe it was called Drunk Duck. And there were young men and women posting their artwork and looking at your artwork on that site. And there were some women that I befriended. Now, I was wrong that I did not tell her about that particular thing because of past experiences that I had with either saying hi to a woman that I know, or either we're at a job environment and she happens to come up and I had a comic book that I was putting out that I may be talking to a woman about, and she would blow a gasket about that particular thing. Because of that, sometimes I would be secretive. And because of a whole mess of other things in our relationship, sometimes I would do shady shit myself. Thing was, she had plenty of guy friends, and I always felt that she was leaving certain things out of stories. And now I definitely know, even if I do it, if you do not tell the whole story, or you're uncomfortable about telling something, and you are with the opposite gender, then technically that's micro cheating, or that's cheating. But if it's gonna be cheating if a man does it, it's definitely cheating when a woman does it. So let this story keep going.
So you're you're angry with us and you want to come back on the show and just yell at us some more? Is that what's going on?
Well, I want to set the record straight. I want you to call the guy that I went out with, Brad, and because now my husband thinks something else happened. Because all of the crap that you put on the radio and you made me come off bad in your editing, now my husband is questioning whether or not I hooked up with this guy, which I absolutely did not. And
Alicia,
I want to talk to Brad.
Okay, Alicia, we didn't edit those like crazy to make you sound, bad.
Whatever. I don't know. Look, I just know what reality TV does to people, and I'm pretty certain you do the same
Right.
thing.
So you want to do a second date update with the guy that you went out with.
No, see, this is why you're a No, I'm not doing a second date update. It wasn't a date.
Okay, but the segment that we're doing right now is called a second date update.
Then I want to be on a different segment.
No, well, this is where we can fit you on. Do you want to clear the air or not?
I want to clear the air, but it wasn't a friggin' date.
Okay.
Yeah, but remember, Alicia, you told us that your ex actually hit on you at the restaurant.
Yeah, maybe it was a date to him, but it wasn't a date to me.
Okay, so then we'll do it in a second date update. You'll get your point out no matter what.
This is just whatever.
Alicia, you'll get your point out no matter what, all right? So what do you want to do then? You want to call this guy, and what are you hoping to get out of it?
I'm not the bad person here.
Okay.
He's the one that was suggestive. He's the one that contacted me to begin with. And I'm the one that left when he started getting weirdly flirty.
There we go. Right there. She said it. She admitted it. That the guy asked her out. Did she have to say yes? No, she could say no. My husband probably wouldn't like that. Now, I do hear some women say that, but I only think they do that for the men that they really want and that they are happy with. A woman may still be guarded if she just with a man for the money. But once she start feeling comfortable, once she start feeling like she can do whatever the hell she wants to do, and I believe that's how quite a few, because I know that's how mine was. She wanted to do whatever the fuck she go wherever she wanted to go. But if I was to do the same thing, it would be hell to pay. I never want to be in a relationship like that again. Because there's only three things going to happen. Either if you are in a relationship that woman is just hanging out with people and, oh, okay, it's just a friend. But if you do it, it'll be like an issue or a problem. It's either A, you're going to be a sucker, or B, you're going to start doing some shit yourself, or C, which is probably the one, probably should be A, just leave the situation. It's not going to get better. And I have my anecdotal evidence of being in that particular situation while me and that person had good times, and some of the other women that I was with, it was good times. Did they curb that behavior? Maybe for a little while, but then they went right back to what they was doing, and we still ended up having issues or we broke up. So you may as well just leave the situation.
Need that to come out so everybody knows that I didn't freaking sleep with him.
Okay, so you want to just prove that you didn't do anything wrong while you're out with this guy, and you want everybody to hear it, everybody who's already judged you from hearing you on the air, your family, your husband, all that.
Right. I'm innocent. This guy is to blame. Okay,
But do you think,
I am an innocent party.
Do you think that people are judging you because they think that you hooked up with your ex, or do you think that they're judging you because you weren't honest in your relationship and refused to take?
You guys made it seem like I wasn't honest. You guys made it seem like I was a liar. Okay, like what I said was taken out of context, and I don't know how you edited it to make me sound like an ass. But I'm not an asshole.
But didn't you, like, to your husband's face, tell him that you were not going out with your ex, that you were going out with girlfriends? Wasn't that actually the case?
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell him.
Okay.
That's completely different.
So, in a second, we're going to play a song and then come back and call this dude that you went out with. We're going to call him. I want to talk to him a little bit and hear it from him that he hit on you and your side of the story is true, and then you can talk to him, okay?
I don't need to talk to him. I need you to prove that I'm a good person.
Okay, I'll help prove that you're a good person and clear the air with everybody involved, everybody that you want to clear the air with, okay?
It's about time you did something right. Thank you.
Can you just not call me an ass for a second?
You really make it hard.
She does have a point.
All right.
I mean, that was the one thing I'll back her on.
Okay, I'm going to play a song. We'll come back, and then we'll call Brad is his name, right?
I f***ing said his name 57 times.
God.
Have you listened to a word I said?
Like, I'm sorry. I realize that you're angry with the show because you feel like we made you look bad.
No, I don't feel like that. I know you made me look bad.
All right, well, we made you look bad, so we'll play a song, come back, and then we'll get your second date update, okay?
It's not a second date.
I realize that, but the segment's called that, so I have to say that.
Just do it.
Okay, we'll do it next.
Well, there you have it. And that radio show was Jubal in the morning. Okay. Listen to the thing again. I'm going to leave a link so that you guys can hear. And I believe that's some of their old radio shows that people are, because I just recently started hearing them. They have some good stuff on there. Now, I'm not sure if some of this stuff is staged, because I would think some of these people would just hang up, okay, after a while. Either way. The fact that she told him that she was going with girlfriends and left that part out, that is, look, I have to, hey, I do that wordplay as much too, yet I always flip it around. If someone was leaving something out like that, would I feel a certain kind of way? Would I feel like that's lying on omission? Yes. So I have to call a spade a spade. That right there is wrong. You are lying in a roundabout way. So that's the thing there. She was not accountable, and that right there, that being wrong, saying if she had at least admitted that, okay, I should have told my husband. I didn't think it was nothing wrong with it. I just didn't want it to be a big thing, but I should have told. If she would at least admit that, and that is the thing with most of the women in my life, except for some of them that was friends, associates, and usually in a work environment. I've seen women admit that they was wrong or sorry about something. But in relationships, I have never heard a woman really admit that she was wrong or she did the guy wrong or she should have did this. Yeah, of course he did shit, but you did something. Especially if you've been with the person that long. You did something wrong. Can you admit that you was wrong with something right there? Okay. So that right there is like orange flag. Maybe technically I admit I think of this as a red flag right now. Now, is there anything else? Oh, I could not find the video before this video. I found the video that's part two with the ex-boyfriend there. And it does seem that he assumed that was more going on right there. But see, the way that she did it is plausible deniability. He asked her out. She just went just to have fun, just to see. But he did say one thing. He said that she was saying that he looked good and she was stroking his arm. But see, again, that's something that's in that gray area. Is she always like that? She could just be friendly, that type of thing. But my main thing is the fact that she did not tell her husband and she had him think that she was just going out with girlfriends. That tells me that in the back of her mind, maybe she just wanted to see him, see what he had going on, to see if it was any spark. And maybe something could happen. And once again, I always think that when most women, and I'm trying not to say all women because some women will do you right, but I think the way that a lot of women are built is when they are leaving somebody or testing their options out, they will do certain things like this. And you as a man may never know. You may never know. And not to say that men don't do the same thing and probably go more all the way, because for a man is more of a waste to not get some physical action. A woman doesn't necessarily have to go to the physical action. She just has to see if the man is interested. And if he's interested, that's a potential person that she can just slide into. And that also assumes if she's just into men. It could be a woman. Okay. This is the main reason why now I'm not like I will mess with a bisexual woman, maybe even date her or something, but I will not get real serious, such as moving her in or spending a whole lot of time with her because I'm not getting invested and then she dip out to a woman. Okay. So that's just not something I feel like doing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like and subscribe. Let's try to be better here because I believe this is a thing where a lot of men and women be fucking up in their relationship. They don't tell the whole story. They be leaving stuff out. They be keeping little secrets, and therefore people start building resentment and stuff. But see, the thing is, while men do it, Women do it, and a lot of men let that shit go. Do not let it go. Let her go. And the same way that she will try to upgrade on you, you upgrade on her first. Have a good night.
You know what I've noticed about women's fantasies, like when it comes to romance? Their ideal sense of romance is literally just cheating.
You know, the funny thing is, I didn't think this was true. I was like, man, he's just cherry picking examples. And then I did some research, and he is 100% correct. Like, think about all the most popular romance movies ever. Sleepless in Seattle, cheating. You've Got Mail, cheating. Cheating, 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 and some underage bullshit. International cheating. Oh my God, so much cheating. Cheating, but with good music. Cheating, but with comedy. Rich people cheating. Cheating down under. Old people cheating. And cheating plus music. Like, it is undeniably true. Every fucking successful romantic movie in like the last 4 decades has just had cheating. That's the women's fantasy. They get with a man, the movie convinces you that man is not good, and then they fucking cheat on him. They cheat on him with the hero of the story. And they're not even subtle about it. The movie is just like, hey, you're with this guy, go cheat on him so we can have a love story. And women are just like, oh my God, isn't it so romantic? No, you know what would have been romantic? Leaving the guy you're with and then dating the hero. Ladies, what the fuck?
Dollar bills, keep you falling from me. I love the way I feel, boy. Some money, dropping on my money. Drop some money on a special yummy, yeah. Drinking, right at things I like. Boy, stopping in my ass tonight. Some money, dropping on my money.